All right, so listen, you guys are in the revenue revolution room. Yes or yes? So that means that you came to change something. Because revolutions don't happen for no reason. Whenever there's a revolution, there are a few things that happen. The very first thing that happens is somebody gets mad about something. And once they get upset about something, they decide to take action. So the thing that I want you to be today is upset. And I want you to be upset at yourself. I want you to be mad at the fact that you know that you're capable of more. But specifically, I want you to be upset with the fact that you're not generating the revenue that you're capable of producing in your business. That you're producing, at best, mediocre results. And so with a revolution, somebody has to get mad about something, but it doesn't become a revolution until people start taking action for the purpose of making a change. So my question is, are you mad about mediocrity? Mediocrity, yes or yes? Okay, good. Well, then if you're mad about mediocrity, then we need to start a revolution, specifically a revenue revolution. And to do that, we're going to have to take massive action. So here are a few things that I've learned in the business atmosphere, in the business space, is that to go from good to great, to go from mediocrity to great, you're going to have to do some things. And to go from just average to good, let's write this down. Because some of you just average right now. You're producing average results. You're showing up in an average kind of way. You're just hoping to get by. But one of the things that you're going to have to do just to go from average to good, you're going to have to take massive action. Everybody write that down. You're going to have to take massive action. Because today, I don't want you to just get good. I actually want you to get great. But to get you to great, we got to get to good. Yes or yes? Okay, so here's what has to happen. To go from average to good, we need what? Massive action. To go from good to great, you need specific action. And here's how I learned it. I'm a bachelor. I live in National Harbor, Maryland, and some of you know from my single guy's pillow that I show sometimes on the Hangout. If you don't know about that, you got to watch the Hangout. But I remember I had a young lady coming over for dinner, and I was going to be the person or the chef preparing dinner. And I thought about all of these different solutions. I want you to know that I thought about calling up the restaurant and ordering the food and just dressing it up on the plate. But I figured, how hard could cooking be? I mean, I've seen my mother do it. I've seen my grandmother do it. I had new pots that had never been opened up. I'm telling you, you went into my cabinet, there were pots. They were clean. They were new. They were pristine. I mean, you would come to my house and you'd be like, wow, this is a clean kitchen. You know, sometimes you go to a bachelor's house, the kitchen is just dirty. My kitchen is spotless, mostly because I never use it. So, anyway, I figured I'm going to go with what every single man uses as the fallback for dinner for the person that he is dating. So I decided I was going to make some spaghetti. How hard could that be? I've seen my mother make spaghetti a million times. Now, I love my mother's spaghetti, and I figured it couldn't be hard. Some noodles, some sauce, a little bit of meat, throw some bread on the plate, and everything will be great. But I didn't want to take it for granted that spaghetti was just that easy. So here's what I did. I called my mother up. I said, hey, Mom, I love your spaghetti. She says, what do you want? I said, I want you to tell me how to make spaghetti. She said, who is this for? I said, it's for me. She says, who is this for? So anyway, here's what I did. She gave me the ingredients and what I needed to buy from the store to basically go out and make some spaghetti. She said, go buy this, go buy this, go buy that. And then she told me, okay, once you get all of that stuff done, buy some bell peppers and buy some seasonings. And I bought all this stuff. So I went to the grocery store. I don't go to the grocery store often. I'm single, so I go to the grocery store like once a quarter. I try not to visit that place. It's, I just don't see the necessity for it. Like, why do you just want to go down aisles with carts? I don't know. So anyway, I get all of these ingredients, and I start to follow my mother's instructions on how to make spaghetti. So here's what I do. I take out the big pot, the big brand new pot that was still in the box. I had to cut the tape open. I had to do all this stuff. So I got my box. I got my pan. Take everything out, set it up. And it looks good. I could have taken a selfie. I could have taken like a Instagram photo and I went, the chef is getting ready to go to work. And I would have got at least 100 likes. I'm not for sure that I would have got 100 likes on the results that I produced, but I'm sure that if they would have seen the picture, I set out the wooden spoons. I had wooden spoons. This is good. So then I start to open up the sauce, and I pour the sauce in the pan. Then I get the other big pot out, and I put the spaghetti in there, and I turn up the water. And then I start taking this massive action, the stuff that you can see. So I start cutting up bell peppers like I've seen my mom do. I start cutting up celery like I've seen my mom do. I even, listen, ladies, I told you, I'm a rare find. I want you to know this. I made my own meatballs. When was the last time you met a guy that made his own meatballs? So I rolled the meatballs up. I had everything going. So I was taking massive action. You could see me working. I mean, if you would have seen this, you would have said, that's the man for me. So I'm doing all of this, and I cut up the bell peppers, the celery. I got the cheese out. I mean, I'm working feverishly. I even got a special apron just for the occasion. So after I put in all of this labor, I tasted the spaghetti, and it was good. But there was a problem. It didn't taste like my mother's spaghetti. And so I said, I did everything she told me to do. I followed all of the details. I mean, I've watched her for years make spaghetti. How hard could this be? Why is my spaghetti good and why is her spaghetti great? So I figured that my mother must have left something out. So anyway, the dinner goes fine. At least from my perspective, I thought the spaghetti was good. So the next week, I asked my mother, on a more serious level, I said, Mom, my spaghetti didn't turn out like yours. What are you doing? And she says, oh, I just do a little of this and a little of that. So anyway, I waited a couple more weeks, and I set my mother up. I called and said, Mom, I'm so hungry. I said, can you just make some spaghetti? I've been working all week. I haven't gone to grocery store. Can you just make some spaghetti? And she says, yes. Before she gets home from work, I set a camera over in the corner. So I'm sitting there, and I'm watching my mother make the spaghetti. I'm watching her make the spaghetti. By the way, this was the Logitech C920. My mom was not a techie, and she probably wouldn't be happy to know that I filmed her, but we'll keep that as a secret between you and I. So anyway, here's what happens. She cut up the bell peppers just like I did. She cut up the celery just like I did. She cut up the onions just like I did. She rolled the meatballs just like I did. She put in the sauce. She put in the pepper. She put in the salt. She put in the cheese. She put in the Parmesan. And I was like, good, I got it. I did all of the exact same things. But then something happened. Then my mother started doing highly specific things. So at this point, the spaghetti was already good, but she started doing specific things that I didn't see and that she didn't even realize. She put a pinch of pepper, a pinch of oregano, a teeny little bit of this, a little bit of that. She started taking highly specific actions. And I realized that at that moment, I didn't take any of the specific actions. What I did was all of the massive things that I saw her do. And this is just like we do in business, where what we do is we watch people from the outside and we see the big things that they're doing. But we don't see the little things, the small things that they're doing, the minute things. And so here's the lesson. To go from good to great, or to go from average to good, you got to take massive action. But to go from good to great, you got to take highly specific actions. Now, it brings me to another point, that my mother didn't realize what made her spaghetti great, because she had moved into a zone where she was unconsciously competent. And she never took the time to write down the system that she used to produce a particular result. She never wrote it down. And so because she never wrote it down, she robbed me of the ability to replicate that result. Does that make sense? So today, we're not going to just talk about the things that you need to know from average to good, but we're going to talk about the things that you need to know to go from good to great. We're going to talk about those highly specific actions. Now, as you know, we are behind some of the largest speaker brands that you've seen in the country. As a matter of fact, you've seen many of them on display here. And what we're going to do is we're going to walk you through exactly what we have walked many of our clients through. You name them, we probably work with them. And we're going to now turn you into that next big star. So we're going to talk about how to become a billing machine. Now, I have rules when I come to a stage. So rule number one, that if you get a nugget, you got to share a nugget. You get a nugget, you got to what? Get a nugget? Get a nugget? Okay, so that means if I share something with you and you get it, then you got to share it with somebody else. Because how did you get it? Because I did what with it? I shared it. And the only way that somebody else is going to get it is for you to what? See, here's what's happening is we're walking around, we wonder why our spouse doesn't get it. We're walking around, we're wondering why people in our spirit influence don't get it. We're walking around, we're wondering why people in our downline don't get it. But let me tell you something. There is no way to get it other than you. So if you don't share it, they won't get it. So don't ask the question, I don't understand why they don't what? Get it. So for them to get it, you got to share it. Now, here's how we want you to share it. You hit the share button right above the video. Hit the Facebook share button. Now, for some of you say, well, I'm not in front of my computer. I don't have any battery power. I'm here in the audience. That's why you have a cell phone. Send somebody a text. Because if you don't share it, they won't what? Now, here's a couple of other notes as we go through this very fast. You want to take good notes. Here's what I want you to know. I deal in the technology sector. I probably was born with a laptop or really a computer in my bed. I don't know any other thing other than that. But I've learned that the number one technology is probably the hand. And I want you to know that the hand is a digital recorder for the mind. The hand is a digital recorder for the mind. And here's what's happening. The world is actually getting dumber and dumber. Seriously, the world is getting dumber and dumber. And you say, wait a minute, I live in the world. Am I getting dumber and dumber? Yes, it is very possible that you're getting dumber and dumber. Here's why. Is that we're moved into an era where we're starting to transfer the responsibility for our greatness to technological devices. So I'll use as an example. Here's what we're seeing. Now, nobody takes notes, right? And what that does is you are robbing yourself of the ability to program your mind. Here's what I want you to know. Your mind can actually see without your eyes. And here's how we know this. If you would, matter of fact, everybody just close your eyes right now. Just if you're watching, okay, just close your eyes. Take out a pencil, close your eyes. If you have a pencil, you have a pen, take out a pencil, close your eyes. Now, even if you don't have a pencil, close your eyes. Close your eyes. And what I want you to do is draw a shape with either your finger or with your pencil or writing device. Just draw a shape. Here's what you know. That even though your eyes are closed, your mind can still see. You can open your eyes now. And what you got to get used to is you got to realize that one of the ways that the mind is programmed is through its ability to see. And so the hand is a digital recorder for the mind. So because you have this hand that you can use, it can see. And so we got to start using our hands to actually program our minds. So here's the danger in becoming overly dependent on technological devices. Your mind is much stronger than you believe, and it's highly suggestible. So here's what happens. When you start, let's just say you just hit the record button. What you're really doing, I'm not suggesting that you don't hit the record button. So if you have Evernote and you want to come back and listen to this, go ahead, you should do that. But here is the danger if you're not also writing and taking notes, is that subconsciously you are transferring the responsibility to remember what you just heard to that device. And so what you're doing is you're shutting down the mind's memory. They say, well, I don't need to remember this. I just recorded it. And when I need to remember it, I'll just hit the what? Play button. So at the end of the day, one of the reasons why you still use your hands, why you still write, is because the hand is a digital recorder for the mind. That being said, take very good notes. Should you use Evernote? Absolutely. We see all sorts of things. You know, I remember that if you had to do an event, you had to really plan it months and months and months in advance. Well, nowadays, you know, people would put them on their schedule, and they would put them in there. You might remember this. I'll take this back a little bit. We used to put them in our Franklin planners. Anybody remember who had a Franklin planner? You had a Franklin planner? You know the really interesting thing about a Franklin planner is you would write down all of the things that you needed to remember about things that you scheduled. But interestingly enough, because you wrote it down, it meant that you didn't need it. And so many people who had a Franklin planner, once they wrote it down, they etched it in their minds. Now people have Google Calendar. They just put it on their calendar. And because they put it on their calendar, if their calendar doesn't fire off a reminder, they forget the webinar, the conference call, which is why you have to remind people 15 minutes for a conference call that's going to change their life. You still have to call them. You still got to text them. You still got to email them. But prior to that, they will remember that even though they didn't get any notifications, any phone calls, emails, or text messages. Because what's happening is you got to be careful in the digital era is do not transfer the responsibility for your greatness, your success to digital devices. The purpose of technology is to enhance your life, not to be your life. Does that make sense? Coming from the tech person himself. So today we're going to talk about how to become a billing machine. And we have two outcomes for today's presentation. One, let me talk to you about what I mean by a machine. When I say a machine, I mean a system. I mean a process that you use to produce a predictable result. I'm talking about a process that you use to produce a predictable result. You know, I've seen a lot of people get lucky. You know, I had to think about what luck is. Because sometimes you're like, woo, good luck. Listen, don't ever tell me good luck. I don't want it. I don't want to be lucky. Don't let anybody else tell you good luck. Here's why. Because luck is a result that you produce that you don't know how you got it. It's a result. It's a result that happened for you or to you, but you don't know how you produced it. So luck is basically something that happened and you don't know how to replicate it. And so that's why you see people who hit the lottery. We see it all the time. Somebody hit the lottery, they win millions and millions of dollars. You're like, oh my gosh, if I had that amount of money, I would never work again. I would do all of these things. And then all of a sudden they lose the money. Haven't you ever wondered why that happened? Because they got lucky. And because they got lucky, they produced a result in their life that they don't know how to replicate. And so for many of us in business, we're hoping to get lucky. And what we're going to do is produce a result in our business that we cannot replicate. So today, I'm going to show you how to produce a result in your business that you can replicate. That result is how to become a billing machine, how to become a systematic billing machine, how to continuously and consistently generate revenue for your business. So, two outcomes. Outcome number one, become predictably profitable. Everybody write that down. Become predictably profitable. Outcome number two, I want you to become cash flow positive in 10 days. How many days? 10 days. 10 days I want you to become cash flow positive. Now let me tell you who this is for. This is for that business owner, that professional, that speaker, that coach, that trainer who is producing inconsistent revenue. Where this week they're making this amount of money, next week no money. This week some money, next week no money. This month, great month. Next month, no month. This month, woo! I'm going to Nordstrom's. I'm going to get those red bottom shoes. Next month, I'm going to put my Converse on. At the end of the day, we got to get to a situation where the results that we're producing in our business are consistent so that we can move on to the other areas of our business. So, number two, it's for people who felt like they wanted to quit. You know, I remember, and I probably never told this story on camera, or to anybody. There are only probably a few people on the planet who know this to be true. I was running a business operation, and I'd gotten behind on my bills. And I've been there. So I've been there where they come and basically repossess your car. I've had my car repossessed so many times in 1 year that the guy knew me and says, hey, do you want to get your stuff out the car first? I even knew exactly how much time I had to raise the money before, they were going to completely take it, before they were going to try to sell. So I knew where the shop was and everything. There are people in this room that have driven me to the place to collect my car after it had been repossessed. And I remember coming home and the lights being out. I said, I have to move some money from here and put it over there. And I remember that I had gotten to a point where the revenue was just really inconsistent. And I never knew if I was going to have enough money to pay the bills. And some of y'all out there are just like that right now. And I remember that I got home one day, and I had just got back from a business trip to generate money. And I was gone for about maybe a week. And the bills had gotten behind. And when I got home, all of my stuff, all of my earthly belongings was sitting in the front yard. I lived in a townhouse community. So first thing I was embarrassed and I was ashamed. Plus, everybody thought I was a successful business owner. But there's my stuff. Now, mind you, it had been sitting there for about 2 days. So you've seen people's stuff sitting out there, right? So my flat screen television is gone. My bags of suits are gone. Everything is gone. There's just a few bags of stuff that people didn't want. And oh, by the way, it was raining when I pulled up. I'm going to tell you I wanted to quit. I'm going to tell you I wanted to quit. But I had a presentation that I had to do that night. I had a presentation I had to do that night. Here's what I did. I went into the bags. I managed to find a shirt that was slightly wrinkled, but it was still wrinkled. No suit jacket and the pants, and I had to give a speech. I had just seen Barack Obama do something on television. I said, oh, I like that look. He had his shirt on, and he had the suit jacket off, and he rolled the sleeves up. I said, these sleeves are really wrinkled. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this shirt on. I'm going to roll the sleeves up. And I came onto the stage, and I said, I'm ready to go to work. And I had my sleeves rolled like I was going to work. Nobody knew the shirt was wrinkled. Because even when you are facing your toughest challenges, you cannot quit. And for some of you, you got here to 72 hours of power, and you weren't for sure if you want to continue in your business. You weren't for sure if this is the right model. And it's when you hit that point that you're right on the cusp of your breakthrough. Oh, by the way, it was the best speech I've ever given in my entire life. I was on fire because I had nothing else to lose. I was like, I have nothing at home. Nothing. So anyway, if you're one of those people, you're thinking about quitting in your business, this is for you. There's some of you out there right now, you feel overworked and you feel underpaid. And for many of you, especially when you're new to your business, you feel like you're constantly working, but you don't see the results on the other end. And at the end of the day, I'm going to help you start to produce the results that you've been looking for in your business. We've done this for entrepreneurs and business owners on the small scale, on the big stage. We've done it. And if you follow my step-by-step system, I'm going to help you produce results. And, I remember that during the times when I couldn't pay my bills, first of all, when you can't pay your bills, you get all types of phone calls. The anxiety starts to build up. And even though you know that they're not going to cut the electricity off for a few more days, you still can't sleep. It's like riding you. I can remember getting the pink slips on the doors. By the way, I've been there too, where the yellow slip means that it's like 15 days late. The pink slip means you're like 30 days late. And they tape it to your door. And you're like, I'm going to tell you what I was thinking. I hope none of my neighbors saw this. I didn't think to myself, maybe I should go generate some revenue. So I've been there, and it produces a result where you just can't sleep. And so if this is your life, I'm talking to you. I've been there. Dark days, cold showers, and a U-Haul truck. There's a price to be paid for success. And if you're not willing to pay it, then it's time for you to go get a job. But if you're willing to pay it, on the other side is not just success and greatness. It is a testimony that allows others that come after you to know that they can get through also. Does that make sense for everybody? So it ain't just about you. It's about the people who have to come after you. So you don't have the option to give up, because the result that you produce, the things that you learn, that wisdom has got to be passed on to somebody else, which is why I'm here teaching today. You got overdue bills, you don't know how you're going to pay it? Hey, listen, I've been there. You're like, I don't know where the money is going to come from. I told you I had my car repossessed more times than you would know. Oh, by the way, and it wasn't just any old kind of car. It was my blue BMW. My blue BMW. Blue, it was blue. So, literally, folks, there are 4 phases to becoming a billing machine. 4 phases of it. So we're going to go through those 4 phases, but let me just run through them very quickly. There's phase 1. There's the pitch. Phase 2 is the actual system. Phase 3 is the close. and phase 4 is the money. And phase 2 is the close, the product, okay? It's phase 3. So let's talk about the pitch, okay? One, whenever you're trying to become a billing machine, you're going to have an amazing product. And you're going to have what I refer to as the big, bold claim. And we're going to talk about how to produce a product that allows you to produce a big, bold claim. If your product does not inspire you or others, or at least inspire you to make some big, bold claim about it, then you probably got the wrong product. As a matter of fact, I've seen speakers here when you tell people about your product, it's more like this. And you can get it from here. And if you like it, then this is where you can buy it. Let me tell you something. If you don't get motivated, if you don't get up, if you don't get pumped, if you don't make me feel your product, I ain't going to feel it, and I'm surely not going to buy it. What are the big, bold claims about your product? Listen, let me tell you how to sell a product. Back to 101. Sell the vision first. Get them to buy into the vision. How do they buy into the vision? It's this big, bold, audacious claim about what your product is going to do for them in their life. Here's what happens. As business owners, we get terrified that we may not be able to live up to the hype, as opposed to being driven to overproducing anything that we said out of our mouth. So I want you to just think about whatever your product is right now, whatever your product is right now. If you have a product and you're online right now, write down the product. Just write it down right now. Put it in the private, the elusive, the exclusive Facebook group. There's no other group like it on the what? Planet. That's the big, bold claim. How many times have you heard me say it? I say come to the private, the elusive, the exclusive Facebook group. There's no other group like it on the what? You hear me say it every time. That's my big, bold claim. I got a chance to be on the Billionaire Mastermind Forum call today, last week rather. While I was on that call, the very first thing I said is it's one of the longest running calls devoted to wealth in the United States. That was my big, bold claim. By the way, I had the right to do it because I can rise to that. And I said it was one of the what? Longest running calls devoted to wealth in the United States. By the way, this happens to actually be true. And they've been doing it for so long, but when they introduce themselves, they say the Billionaire Mastermind Forum call. I guarantee you from this point on out, they will constantly start to say it's one of the longest running calls devoted to wealth in the country. It goes 5 times a week, 8 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you don't know about it, Google Billionaire Mastermind Forum. That is their big, bold claim. People don't want mediocre. They want greatness. So at the end of the day, what is your big, bold claim? If it doesn't excite you, it's most certainly not going to excite them. Take a few seconds. Tell me something amazing that your product does. Dr. Angela Behrens, you were in the house. You run the Institute for Exceptional Children. Tell me one thing that your product does amazing in the lives of other people.
It will make your child, put your child in a position to be able to be accepted at all of the colleges of their choice with a great financial package.
Great. Sounds mildly sexy. You know, it's like some 3-inch. By the way, somebody get me a microphone. It sounds like some 3-inch heels. It's like 3-inch heels. It's not 5-inch heels, but it's 3-inch heels. It's pretty good. Right? But the Institute for Exceptional Children produces the world's brightest thought leaders on the what?
Planet.
Right. And we do that through doing blank, blank, and blank. You know what people want? They want to produce the world's brightest children and thought leaders on the planet. I want that. I have a 6-year-old son. His name is Addison Chase. You tell me that, I'm in. You tell me you got to pay for college. I ain't got to think about college for at least another 20 years. What I'm thinking about is I want my child to be the smartest person on the planet, and every parent wants that. Every parent thinks their child is the smartest person on the planet, and every child thinks their child is the cutest on the planet. And so what you got to do is tell them that, and you got to tell them that your program enhances and protects that. Joan, corner woman Wilson. Somebody pass the mic to Joan. Somebody just pass the mic to her. And just pass it on across. This is hands-on, hand-holding session. You should not have shown up. Now, here's what, you shouldn't have shown up. So here's what I want you to do. If you're in the group right now, somebody get me a group monitor for the private, the elusive, the exclusive Facebook group. There's no other group like it on the what? Planet. You can get there by going to virtualnetworkinglive.com. Joan, and by the way, if you're watching, post something amazing about your product or service. Joan, tell me something amazing about what you do for people.
I create visual content that'll cause you to say, no, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. Because it'll constantly keep them coming back for more. Because when you create visual content that gets noticed, they'll want to keep coming back.
Hey, Joan, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
You ever have an orgasm?
One moment. Where is Dr. Fraser? Paradise. Yes.
Good. You produce content that's so doggone amazing that it's causing people in the audience to have salesgasm. I mean, producing results that you just have people just begging you to take their money. Now, I know there are a lot of different type of presentations you can get, but there are two types of presentation. There's presentation number one, where you go and beg them for the money. There's the other type of presentation where they beg you to take their money. Which would you like? Would you like to win or win, Joan?
I'd like to win.
Great. So let me tell you about how we can start working together. I need a big, bold, sexy claim. Let me ask you a question. Joan, you're single, right? I'm assuming you're single. I didn't see any rings, right? So you're single, and I know the story there. And right now, you have in your flats, but you've been on a few dates before, correct?
I have.
Great. Now, you do have the clothes that you can use. You got some kick around the house clothes, just hanging around. But when you went on some dates and there was a person you were interested in, did you show up with the sweatpants on and the kick around shoes? You know, those flats that they wear? Or what did you show up in?
Well, I came with my A game.
So you came, wait. She said, y'all heard her. She said she came with her what game? Her A game, right? Now, can you just describe what the Joan Wilson A game looks like? Let's just start from the feet. What do we have on our feet?
So it's got a little peep toe, and then the rest of it's got like little sparkly little rhinestones on it. But then it's got a clear heel.
So you're talking about a heel? Somebody find me a picture with the heel, with the little peep toe, the spike. How many inches is it?
Oh, it's about 4-ish.
4-ish. Real close to 5-ish. Yeah. She shows up and she looks amazing. And here's the thing. She's here. She has arrived. When you show up with your products and services, have you arrived, or are you showing up hoping that they'll see value in your products and services? And by the way, keep on hoping that they see value in your products and services. You got to tell it from the mountain. By the way, it's Sunday. We can take it to the Bible. I'll call those things that be not as though they were. Produce the result. Make the big, bold claim. Then talk about the bigger benefits. What does your product do for people? What are the 3 top results that your product or service does for others? I'll give you a perfect example. We produced this year, and this year just started, at least 10 6-figure launches in less than 30 days. Easily for our clients. The result that we produced is we produced 6-figure launches. You want a 6-figure launch? Talk to us. We're behind some of the biggest speaker brands in the country. You want to be a big speaker brand? Talk to us. You want to put your business on steroids? Talk to us. You tired of working hard for the money? Great. Talk to us. Want to automate your business, multiply your profits? Do what? Talk to us. Talk about the bigger benefits. And then talk about the biggest results. Like there's one thing, it's the one thing that you feel like you do better than anybody else. Look, when you are trying to position your product to another client, I cannot say this enough. Get them to first buy in to the vision. The vision represents what you see for them. So you have to be able to paint a vision for them. You have to allow the client to see what you see for them. That is scripted. That is language. Language is energy. Language is power. You can control what they think about your products and services based upon the words that you use. Number one thing that most speakers, entrepreneurs, coaches, professionals, coaches, and business owners need are scripts. The number one thing that they usually don't have is a what? Go get a script. Listen to me. Go get a script. What's your favorite actor? Don't worry, I'll put you right on the spot. You walk into this room. This is called on-the-spot coaching. Give me one of your favorite actors. Kerry Washington. Any other actor? Just shout them out. You got an actor? Just holler them out. Will Davis. You said Viola Davis. See, you've been watching How to Get Away with Murder. You've been watching Scandal, right? Well, here's what you got to know. Your favorite actors have talent. They have abilities. They have gifts. It's down on the inside of them. But at the end of the day, they have a script. And that script allows them to focus their gifts, talents, and ability. See you later, Emma. Now, here's the thing. What's happening is you are showing up as though your talents and your abilities and your education and your certifications and your degrees and your doctorates are enough. It is not. You got to be able to focus your talents and focus your abilities and focus what you do, your degrees and your certifications, and you got to be able to channel that through a script. And just showing up with talent enough is not going to get it. It ain't going to get it. That's why you failing now. I got a degree. I was hoping I was going to be successful. I got a certification from this school, that place. I was hoping I was going to be successful. It still ain't show up. Get focused. Focus. Get somebody to help you with your scripting. Let me help you out with that. Two best sales scripting people I've met on the planet. One, painting the vision, got to be Allison Bird. Tops. Sales scripting, how to position to get the check. Shay Brown. Top neurolinguistic sales experts in the country. Let me give you his number right now. He doesn't know this. Here's what Shay's not in the room. Really. Is he in the room, y'all? No. He doesn't even know this is going to happen. Here's what I want you to do. Text Shay and say, I want to work with you on my sales scripting. On what I say, how I say it, and the result it produces. Just say you want to work with him. You're going to text him at 202-270-1662. 202-270-1662. Text him. Just say, I want to work with you on sales scripting. Because if you think you're going to just show up with your abilities and talents and it's going to automatically produce the result that you want, it's not. You will get a result. It just won't be the result you want. Some of you are getting results. They're just mediocre results. Some of you are getting results and it's just average results. Some of y'all are getting results and it's good results. And the fact that it's good results, you are satisfied and you're comfortable in that. But if you want great results, you're going to have to go a little bit extra. You're going to have to do a little bit extra. Go ahead and text them. Because some of y'all are not working with sales scripting experts. Sales scripting experts don't try to manipulate your words. They try to help you focus your words because y'all are trying to get lucky. Look, don't use your talents to try to get lucky. Don't use your abilities to try to get lucky. Don't use your certification. Don't use your degrees. Don't use these things to try to get lucky. The definition of luck is you are producing a result that you cannot replicate. And so each time you're trying to rise to the occasion in an unpredictable way. I guarantee you Denzel Washington has a system by which he's producing the results on stages. And it starts with a script. Some of the greatest singers in the world, somebody else wrote the song for them. It's called a script. The President of the United States, once a year, he gives a big speech. What's the name of that speech? State of the Union. He is the leader of the free world. What if he showed up without a speech? I'm a great speaker. I've been speaking for a long time. Hey, everybody, it's great to be here. What if he just wanted to wing it? Stop winging it with your success. That's why you're not producing the results. You got to get serious about your scripting. If you haven't done it, go ahead and reach out. Somebody post that into the group. You want to reach out to Shay Brown on sales scripting. Specifically, by the way, when you work with Shay, work with him in the capacity of neurolinguistic sales. If you don't know what neurolinguistic sales is, it's the study of linguistic patterns used in the sales process. It's the study of what you say and how you say it. Words have a frequency to it. Did you know that? And words have a frequency to it, and that frequency we often refer to as sound waves. That's why when you're speaking, if you have a spectrometer, you can see the, what kind of wavelength it's on. You can see the power in it. It's so powerful that some people can use their voice in such a way that it can break a glass. Right? So words have a frequency to it. You get that? So what you got to know is you got to be able to use your words to tune into the harmony or the frequency of the client that you're talking to. That's why you can hear some people and they don't resonate with you, and you can hear other people and they get right to your soul. They get right to you because their words resonate with you. Well, here's the thing. It's not about who sounds motivational and who has a little bit more bass and who has a little bit more tenor on alto to their voice. It's really about using the correct words in the correct sequence to produce a particular result. And if you learn how to do that, you will produce more sales. Does that make sense for everybody? Words have power to them. They have the power to generate revenue, if that's what you want. They have the power to help you close the deal. Some of you are trying to close deals on pure charisma. That's trying to close it on talent and ability. So you go and say, ooh, I'm going to learn how to be a powerful speaker. I'm going to learn how to motivate people. It's a temporary result. You won't be able to maintain it. You can't maintain the result for the client, and you can't even maintain a predictable close rate. It will not work. Get better at what you say and how you say it. Anybody ever been on a phone call with Shay when he closes the deal? Right? Dr. Behrens, I'm glad that we're speaking. So what I'd like to know is, how do you feel about what? You know, just like, how do you feel about moving forward? Once he gets the credit card, they swipe. Everybody say swipe. Yeah, I want you to get used to that sound. Shay swipes your credit card while he's on the phone with you. He is a system. He keeps you talking. This is what's happening because y'all don't see it behind the scene. So I'm really proud that we're doing work. 6, 7, 3, 2, 1. He keeps you on the phone. He keeps you talking while he's putting your credit card in. He's going to make sure that it goes through. Now, here's what happens on the backside. He asks you the magic question. He says, what's one of the reasons why you decided to do business with us? You know what he's doing? At that moment, he's using his sales language to audit you about results. So he wants to know, what's the one thing that caused you to make the decision? What he's looking for is the sequence that is causing people to buy from him. Then what he does is he goes back and modifies the sales language to increase or to add to what he's been saying to other clients. Does that make sense? So it's not arbitrary. If 10 people say the reason why I did business with you is because I was not doing any automation in our business, the next person he gets on the phone with is one of the reasons why I like working with entrepreneurs is I love helping them automate their processes. Where did he get it from? The last 10 people said this was the thing. So determining what you lead with. Don't sell the way you want to be sold to. Sell the way they want to be sold to. Get them to first buy into the vision. The big results that you're going to produce for them, the big results that you see in their life, the big benefit that you see in their life. After you get them to buy into the vision, all you want to do is position the products as a way for them to achieve their dreams, not yours. I was talking to Myron Golden the other day. He said the reason why most entrepreneurs have a problem with selling, especially big ticket items, here's what he said. He said most of them are selling out of their own wallet. I said, what? He said, most of them selling out of their own wallet. I said, what do you mean by this? I said, I don't have any money in my wallet. He says, you believe that your client is capable of paying for what you can pay for. So if you feel like you wouldn't pay $500 for a product, you have a problem charging another client $500 for it. Stop selling out of your own wallet, hashtag Myron Golden. All right? Now let's get into the system. When we talk about the system, we're talking about the process. When we're talking about becoming a billing machine, you got to have a system by which you collect the what? Cash. How are you going to get the money? You got to be systematic about how you go about collecting the money. Look, let me just speak to a few things. There is marketing language and there is sales language. Perfect example. Have you ever seen something? You're like, oh, you see all this advertising, this looks great, and you click the button because you want to buy it. When you click the buy button, you land on a sales page, right? You get that? When you come to an event, they sound great. It's like boom, boom, boom. Oh, this sounds great. This sounds great. This sounds great. And then they tell you something that they want you to buy, and they pass out a what? Order form. So you have sales pages and you really have order forms, right? Okay, look, when you are marketing, it's great to have flowery, incentivized language and to really kind of pump them up. But when they get ready to make the deal, close the deal, see, the marketing side taps into their emotional and psychological side of the things that drive them. But when they get to the sale, here's what they want. They want clarification and confirmation. They want clarification and they want confirmation. Here's the first thing, is they want clarification on exactly what they're getting. That is not the time when you start adding extra language. This is our Bumblebee, super duper, super duper amazing, phenomenal system. That's not what they want. That's not what they're looking for. They're not looking for adjectives. They're looking for specifics. Everybody get that? So when they get to your sales page, when they get to your order form, that's where you give them clarification. What am I getting specifically? They want it spelled out. The second thing that they're looking for is they're looking for confirmation, because at the end of the day, they made the decision based upon some emotional connection that they made with you. But now they need confirmation that this is the real deal. Hey, how you doing? Hello. Are you married? What's your name? Dimitri. Dimitri, have you ever gone on any dates? You ever meet a guy that you like? Yeah, and you wonder, right, he sounded good, he looked good, maybe he even looked like me, right? He looked good, right? And so, I mean, you were like, woo, I'm ready. You gave him the number and everything, right? But didn't you need a little bit of confirmation that he was the real deal?
True.
Right, so we need a few, so you look for confirmation, right? That you made it a bit of an emotional decision, a bit of a marketing decision, but then you start looking for confirmation. And so what's happening is we get heavy into the marketing, and then we take marketing over to the sales side. And there's a time for marketing and there's a time for sales. Everybody write that. Part of your system is knowing when to use marketing language and when to use sales language. Purpose of marketing is to get them to say, how can I get this? Where can I get this? When can I get this? When it gets to sales, they want to know how much and what am I getting. And what happens is we get over to the sales side of our system, and when we get to the sales side of our system, when we get to that side of the system, we keep marketing to them. The number one thing you can learn in sales is knowing when to shut up. Seriously. So in your system, as you're trying to collect the cash, you got to have a few things. Let me get rid of some things that'll make you look like an amateur. Number one, no square, because you look like a rookie. Oh, and then, by the way, square is a particular type of merchant system. Once you go over $100,000 in sales, they technically have to cut you off. Doesn't mean that they always will, but if you do more than $100,000 in sales during 1 year, you're supposed to move to a merchant account. And it's for people who they basically decide that you're not going to sell more than $100,000. They consider it a merchant aggregator. They take a bunch of people together and validate you to the merchant system. But based upon the merchant system rules, you're supposed to move off that system after 100,000. Here's the rule. If you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. You want to keep it, stay at $100,000? Great, you get to keep it. So at the end of the day, you want to play with the big boys, you want to be a big boy, you got to step up there and you got to be a big boy. I got a 6-year-old son. I said, we're a big boy now. We're going to tie our shoes. Or I'm going to buy you these Velcro shoes. He doesn't like the Velcro shoes. I want these shoes. Great. No problem. We're going to be a big boy. We got to learn how to do what? Tie our shoes. So we got to learn how to get the right system. You know, no PayPal. No PayPal. No PayPal. You ever hear, I'm glad you said, wow, that's a good question. You ever hear PayPal freeze? First of all, collect too much money on PayPal. The first thing they're going to do is say, hey, wait a minute, you collected too much money. They're going to call you. Tell me why people are buying this product from you again. What is this again? Start making too much money on PayPal. Watch what happens. Imagine for a second you had a big day, the biggest sales day of your life. You had the amazing neurolinguistic sales scripting from Shea Brown. You were batting out the home runs. You did 100 sales, all at $1,000. How much is that? $100,000, right? One person decides that they want to get a refund. Because when they saw it on their credit card bill, they didn't recognize it. It wasn't personal. Have you ever looked at your credit card bill, bought something like, I don't remember buying that? Good question. they will hold up all of the other 99 payments until they get that resolved. It's called PayPal. Look, don't take my word for it. Google the word PayPal freeze. Now, I'm not saying PayPal is a bad thing, but are you a business owner and a CEO, or you want to be an entrepreneur? You heard me say earlier, I have a problem with the word entrepreneur. Because when you hear them refer to Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, when you hear them refer to Warren Buffett, they do not call these people entrepreneurs. That's not what they call them. They call them CEOs, business executives. Over here, we're entrepreneurs. We're trying to be in business, and we use the word to give ourselves permission to fail. Stop trying to be an entrepreneur. Stop trying to be a business owner. Do not call me an entrepreneur. I am a business owner. I am a CEO of one of the largest African-American firms devoted to personal and professional development. Big, bold claim. They are entrepreneurs. PayPal is for entrepreneurs. What are you? A business owner, a CEO. You must have systems in place that reflect that. First of all, as soon as they click the buy button and they land on your PayPal page, they automatically know something about you. You ain't got a merchant system. Then they're sitting there thinking, do I have to become a member of PayPal to buy? Because PayPal is not set up for you, it's set up for the consumer. Their rules are set up to help them. They're rooted in that way. So the reason why you get to the PayPal page, they say, hey, you can go ahead and register so you can have an account. They're not trying to get more business for you. They're trying to get more business for themselves. It's a consumer product. You are in business. Now, for those people who are trying to be an entrepreneur, you're trying to be in business, go get PayPal. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to business owners and CEOs. If you are on the other side, check out now. No apologies. I won't feel bad about it. So, no checks. People call it that. You take checks? Nope. Not unless they're certified. Certified, same as cash. Other than that, no checks, no PayPal, no Square Up. But my mother used to say, don't take things away without giving things back. No cash. No cash. You know, just no cash, not at this level. You need to be in a position where you, look, everybody got a credit card now. Swipe their cards. So here's what you need. You need a merchant account. Very simply. Now, there used to be a time when it was very difficult to get merchant accounts. They used to put you through the ringer over them. Now you can get one relatively easily. Now, let me speak directly to my speakers and my coaches. It's a little bit more of a challenge, but not much more of a challenge for speakers and coaches to get merchant accounts because you deal in non-tangible goods. And so it's hard to kind of place a value on it, and it's hard to determine whether the client got it. Does that make sense? Like consulting services. So in that, you may have to find a merchant account provider that deals with a greater degree of risk. Not much greater, but a greater degree of risk. So, you know, you need to get yourself a merchant account. A part of becoming a billing machine is getting a merchant account. Because once you start this automated process of generating money consistently, constantly, and every day, then you're going to need a merchant account. So here's what I recommend. One, Authorizenet. One, because it interfaces with a lot of online systems. For those people who cannot go to Authorizenet, look, I told you they repossessed my car. I told you they put my stuff out. So what does that tell you? My credit was what? Bad. But I still need to collect money. People with bad credit still got to make money too. I had bad credit. Bad. You hear me? You can write it. You can tell it. Trevor had bad credit. I tell it first. So what I did was I went to a company that took a little bit more risk. I went to powerpay.biz. They made it very easy for me to get a merchant account. At the end of the day, if you know you got bad credit, you're probably not going to get approved by Authorize.net. So go to powerpay.biz, and they don't pay me to say that. Powerpay.biz, not .com. So go to powerpay.biz, Authorize.net. Now, you can also go directly to your bank. You know the fun thing about going directly to your bank for your merchant account? When they swipe that card, that money is in your bank account the next day. Many of your banks directly interface with Authorize.net anyway, which is really the gateway. You're going to hear that term a lot. You know, what's the gateway? Even if you use PowerPay, even if you use your bank, right, typically you want to use as the gateway Authorize.net First Data. Why? Because your money's going to go through, it's going to be right, and they interface well with everything. Okay? Does everybody get that? So even if you go to your bank, the first thing you want to ask them is what do you use for your gateway? Some will give you an option. When I went to Bank of America, they use First Data. I said, well, I want to use Authorizenet. Why? Because it interfaces more easily with online shopping carts. Especially when you're selling a lot of stuff online, you'll find that a lot of systems work well with Authorizenet. Even if you would go to PowerPay, you say, hey, I want Authorize.net as my gateway. Write it down. You can go directly to Authorize.net, but if you don't have the credit, then you may go to somebody like PowerPay, who will basically go to Authorize.net and vouch for you on their behalf, or vouch for you on your behalf. Does that make sense? Okay. So now, when we think about billing systems, you need two things. You need a merchant account. Everybody say merchant account. Okay. The second thing you need is a billing system. You got it? So here's how I want you to think about it. Some of y'all think just because I got the merchant account, I'm ready to go. How many of y'all walking around right now with credit card machines in your pocket? Anybody got one? You don't got one. That's why you want it to square up and all that kind of stuff, right? So here's what you really want, especially if you're selling money online. You need basically a virtual terminal system. So here's what you need. This is what messes people up with trying to build their billing system. They don't get why I need a billing system and a merchant account. I thought my merchant account was my billing system. It's not the case. Your billing system is the manager, okay? Your merchant account is the employee. The billing system or your billing system tells your merchant account to go out and charge money. Charge this amount of money on this date. If there is no merchant account, your billing system doesn't know who's going to go out and collect the money. Does that make sense? So here's what happens. If you have a merchant account, but you don't have anybody to tell the merchant account what to do, it has to work from manual instructions. So you got to keep punching in all the data. So you get a billing system, okay? The billing system is nothing more than the manager for your merchant account. They just tell your merchant system or your merchant account who to bill and how to bill. So perfect example, many of you cannot do payment plans. Matter of fact, I've seen this happen so often in 2015, 14. I was like, oh my gosh, what are these people doing? They can't do payment plans because they have to, somebody say, I want a payment plan. You have to manually go in and charge their credit card on the 15th and manually go in and remember to charge them on the 30th. By the way, I did this. Matter of fact, Dr. Burns, I think you've seen me do this. My first product was like $67 a month. And I had to keep everybody fill out their order forms. I had this big event. I had my kickoff called Broke Marketing That Makes Sense. I had about 100 order forms, and they were paying me $67 a month. Real true story. I had to keep everybody's form because every month I had to remember to go in and manually bill these people. So like the 29th of the month, I had to take off all day to basically go in and manually bill this person 67, bill this person 60, because I didn't have a billing system. Somebody asked me for a payment plan on $1,000. I had to remember to bill them on the 10th. I had to put in my Google Calendar, bill this person on the 10th, bill this person on the 24th, bill this person on the 1st, and remember to break their payments up. So if I forgot, then I would just lose the money. So I lost about $100,000 just by not having a billing system. By the way, immediately you have the potential to lose $100,000 without even blinking just by not having a billing system. Because one, you can't do payment plans, and you can't do continuity plans, and you can't do systems to bill people. You get me? So let me tell you about your billing system. The billing system just tells it what to do. It automates the whole process. So here's some billing systems. One of the lower end ones, but it does work, Zaxa, Z-A-X-X-A-A, I think. Joan will look that up for us, and she'll post that into the private, the exclusive Facebook group. There's no other group like it on the what? See, don't worry, I'm still here. Now, here's the thing. You can also use one shopping cart. You can also use premium shopping cart. You can also use Infusionsoft. These are some of the top billing systems out there, okay? Now, there's some other ones, but here are some of the major ones that are user-friendly and easier to use, okay? Now, one of my top recommendations is probably going to be, in my opinion, I like Infusionsoft the best. It's a little pricey, but I do like it the best. If you want to learn more about that, just send me a private Facebook message and we can talk about how to use Infusionsoft. What I like about it is you can do things like $1 trials, split payments into 10 payments if you like. You know, you can do a lot of different interesting things with that. One shopping cart still works. Premium web cart still works. So, and Zaxxas still works. If you're just getting started, revenue is an issue, go to Zaxxas. It's about $300 for the year, okay? And their base level service is free, all right? So when you have a merchant account plus a billing system, that's going to equal cash. When you don't, you're leaving money on the table. So when you say, why, by the way, people are asking, you know, I can see the questions in your mind. How much is a merchant account? Generally, it's about $12 a month. And depending on, you know, your credit level, you'll be charged anywhere between 1 to 3% of the sale. You know, and typically what you'll find is, you know, they find a way to get their 3%. You know, I'll just be clear with you. Well, you got 1%, but then they got this special little bill over here, this little surcharge for here. But you need a merchant account and a billing system. Does that part make sense for everybody? Merchant account and billing system. You're in business, act like you're in business, get yourself a merchant account and a billing system. When? Today. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make recommendations for you. You don't know what to do or you need to have a conversation about it, you'll send me a private Facebook message and I'll talk to you about it. I'll send you my recommendations. Even send you contacts like, hey, here's the person I use. Here's the person I use for this person. Here's the person I use for that. So I'll be able to give you some advice. I'm going to probably get a lot of Facebook friend requests today. Oh, well. So let's talk about some money strategies that you can use. Because once you have these tools, you got to know how to use it. So let's talk about money strategy number one, the $1 trial, okay? So one of the things I like about the $1 trial is it's a way for people to test your products and services. You guys have all experienced the $1 trial before where you say, hey, you can sign up for $1 and you can try this out for 7 days for free, right? And basically you try it out for, 7 days for free. And after the 7th day, I'm going to bill you what? $25, $50, $100 a week. So for many of you, when you're going into spaces where the people don't know you, it's an easy way to build trust, especially if you're going into audiences or you're dealing in an online space where they don't know you. And so a $1 trial is an easy trust builder. Now, here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to be in a situation where you got to double close, where you got to do the $1 trial, and then later on you got to say, hey, did you like it? Now are you ready to upgrade? That's never going to work. So if you have a merchant account, you can say, look, bill these people $1, and then 7 days later, start billing them $99 a month. You can do that when you have a merchant account and a billing system, because your billing system is you got 100 people in, it's going to go out and tell the merchant account, hey, on the 15th of the month, go get my $100 from all these people over here. Does that make sense? And the people who cancel, don't charge them because you don't want to manually have to manage that. Does that make sense? Okay, so here's a riddle for you. What do Walmart, Wells Fargo, and BMW all have in common? The thing that they have in common is payment plans. Here's the thing. Walmart has layaway, yes or yes? Right? Wells Fargo, they do have mortgages, yes or yes? And they do have car payments. You can get a car payment on a BMW, can't you? Yeah, the thing that they have in common is they all got payment plans. Why don't you? You can go to, look, Walmart, you can put a bike for, $120, you can put it on layaway. So they got a payment plan even on a low ticket item, right? Here's a BMW, maybe, or a Toyota Prius like Shay has. That's a mid-ticket item, and they got a payment plan on that, right? You can get a payment plan from Toyota, right? And so even on their middle range items, they got payment plans. Why don't you? Over here, you have the house. They call that thing a mortgage, right? But it's just basically 360 payments. It's a payment plan. So at the end of the day, here's what you got to understand, that here in the United States, I don't know about any other country. I live here. Here in the United States, here's what I can tell you, that when a person wants to purchase, especially a big ticket item, we're already programmed to try to get a payment what? Yeah. So at the end of the day, you're losing money. Some people just want a payment plan. They like to keep more of their money in their, pockets or in their bank accounts so they can use it for other things. We're already programmed that way. So here's what you're trying to do. You're trying to reverse the way that they're already programmed. So here's what we do. If the person wants to pay the whole thing up front, there's a benefit for that. We reward them. If the person wants a payment plan, we use that as an opportunity to generate more revenue. Hey, you want to pay me rent? No problem. I prefer a payment plan because you're going to pay me more. It's $9.97 one time, or I'm going to give you a payment plan. You end up paying me $1,500. Which money do I want? I really want the $1,500. And because I'm billing them every 2 weeks or every week or every month, my revenue starts to become consistent. See, lawyers know this. Lawyers, they're like, they ask you one. See, lawyers, it's not about your biggest check. It's about how many hours do you bill. They ask you the questions, are you billable? Billable. They rack up hours. How much is going to, have you ever heard a lawyer give you a flat rate? I ain't trying to get a flat rate. We estimate these amount of hours. You just know you're going to be in there for some hours. Here's the thing. For you, you don't want to be billable. You're trying to get right up to the plate and hit the home run every time. Listen, today is not about the home run. Today is about being steady and consistent. So I'm trying to get you to the point that you become billable. Does that make sense? Okay. By the way, let me tell you a real story before we get into let me tell you a real story about payment plans. In our business model, right now, Shay and I have about 91 employees all around the world, literally, for the Peak Performance Institute. And there are different areas of the business that we focus on. And I remember Shay and I used to get into these arguments about the $1 trial. Shay was like, I want the money right now. Shay's the sales guy. Give me the money now. Why do we have to wait about it? Why do we have to wait for the money? So I would always go to the stage, and I would always do the $1 trial. And it wouldn't show up in the profit and loss statement. And we do our profit and loss statement every week. So it didn't show up that week. Might not even show up for 2 weeks. But here's what would happen, is that when there were weeks when there was not a lot of sales that came in, here's that steady flow of people paying that $249 every 2 weeks, and you would see it in the profit and loss statement. You would just see this huge line item with 100 people who just paid this. And I'll tell you, it was one of the biggest things that stabilized our revenue. Because, we have products that go all the way up to probably around about maybe just under $96,000, depending on what level you're working with us. But we do have products that are right at $97. So at the end of the day, it's not just can you sell the client your biggest ticketed items. What you're trying to do is figure out how you can produce some consistent revenue. And you can't always try to bat a home run. Every client is not a home run client. Does that make sense? But every client is valuable. You got that? So, strategy number 2 is the payment plan. Strategy number 3, everybody needs a low labor monthly service. You need a low labor monthly service. Low labor monthly service. I want you to think like AT&T, Verizon, and Comcast. They come out one time and kind of get you set up, but after that, you don't see the Comcast guy anymore unless there's a problem. You don't see AT&T anymore unless there's a problem. They get your money every month. You do not see them. But you want to be an employee. You want to talk to the client every day. You want to talk to the client every week. You want to talk to the client every month. You want to work. No. You need a low labor. Everybody say low labor monthly service. You need this. Think Netflix. Netflix is the greatest thing ever. You want to know why? Here's what happens. You plunk down your $9.99 a month. All they do is send you an email with your login credentials and your password. You log in and you watch the videos, and that's it. Has anybody ever called Netflix? Can I talk to your manager? My Netflix is slow. You cannot call them. Low labor monthly service. All of my speakers, coaches, authors, any type membership portal. You need a continuity system. Let me tell you the types that you need. You need first a LMS, a learning management system. What is a learning management system? It's basically a way for people to log in and access expertise that you have. They cannot download. When you go to Netflix, can you download the video? No, you can't download it, but you can watch it, right? Because they say my content is valuable. You can't be downloading it, but you can watch it anytime you like. So an LMS is basically a Netflix-style experience. Everybody get that? Okay. Then you can use a continuity system to produce what is called a PDS, a product delivery system. Anybody here ever bought something from Amazon? Anybody ever bought a book? Here's what happens. You buy the book, and then their system lets you download it. You buy the video, and your system lets you download it. You buy the music from iTunes, and the system lets you do what? Download it. It is a product delivery system. It is low labor. Everybody say low labor. So in a PDS, which is all a part of your membership continuity system, part one is your LMS system. Part two of that is your PDS system. And you use it as a product delivery system. Gotcha. So what's happening is you'll use, let me just write this down on the board. Let me just make sure. I'm going to write for you. I'm going to write for y'all. So first, you got LMS. I want you to think Netflix style experience. Okay? Then you want to think PDS, a product delivery system. Just like Amazon. You can build your own Amazon. You can actually deliver your own products. You know what's really amazing to me? They're like, oh, I want to sell my book. The first thing I need to do is put it on Amazon. Author gets on the stage. You can buy my book by going to Amazon.com. That's what they do. Why? It's one, I would put it there just in case Amazon has any customers I can get to. But on my stage, on my email list, go right to my page. Buy the book right there, and my system is going to deliver it to you. And I'm going to keep all of the cash. How much of the cash? All of the cash. You can have your own product delivery system. Then you can also use it as a CMS, which is basically a type of school. You can use it as a certification management system. You can use it as a certification management system. Here's the thing. If you're good at something, listen, anytime somebody creates or gains any notoriety for something that they do well, do you know what the first product they produce is? The first product that they always produce is a product that allows the person to be like them. Seriously. Michael Jordan, I hit the game when he shot, boom, I'm famous. First product they created was a product they let them be like him. They produced some Nike Air what? Jordans. They produced some Nike Air Jordans. And sorry about that shit, I done clicked all through the stuff. They produced some Air Jordans. Gatorade had a commercial. You saw the commercial. It had a nice jingle. Sometimes I dream that he is me like who? Mike. If I could be like who? Mike. They produce products that allow the person to be like them. Are you good at what you do? Are you good at what you do? Well, what do you do? You do government contracts. LaShawn DeBracy, she's in here. She does government contracts. Do you believe that somebody else wants to be good at that? What do you do? What do you do? Oh, wait. See, she's like, look, see, let me teach y'all a lesson. She missed it for a second because she didn't see me. She was looking someplace else. And in the back, there was a lady, right? There was a lady in the back. Get her a mic. Somebody get her a mic. Get her a mic. I'm going to use this to teach you a lesson, but get her a mic. Bring her down here. All right? Come on down. Come on down. Shameless self-promotion. Let me teach you something about business. You got to be ever vigilant because if you are not vigilant, somebody's going to eat your lunch. Everybody say, chomp, chomp. So like, wait. Somebody said something? Hey, what do you do well?
I do healing, coaching, and counseling very well.
Healing, coaching, and counseling.
Yes.
Very well. I want a big bold claim when you come back.
All right.
Now, by the way, tell them your name.
My name is Ava Laura Gaither Behary. You can find
Ava
me
Laura!
Yes,
We're good to see you! She's in the private DLE, so the exclusive Facebook group. There's no other group like it on the what? Planet! You got it. Okay, so she's here right now.
Yes, I
And
am.
so you do healing and coaching. Here's my question to you.
Yes.
Do you believe that there are others who want to be great at healing and coaching also?
Absolutely.
Do you have a program by which you can help them be great at that?
I have a program where I can help them, but not be great at that. So I will be delivering.
Right. So now we got to create a product,
Yes.
right, on how they can be you.
Absolutely.
See, listen, when they said you to be like Mike, you needed to buy some tennis shoes, you needed to drive the car he drove, you needed the Hanes t-shirt, you needed to drink the Gatorade that he drank. Everybody said, hey, where can I get certification? Oh my.
That's true.
Certification is a marketing term. I give you permission to be me. Give somebody permission to be you. Does that help you a little bit?
Yes, it does.
Let's give her a round of applause for eating lunch. Everybody say chomp chomp. All right, you are amazing. You can take the mic with you right to
Okay, I'll
Shay.
take it.
And let's pass it to the young lady here. So the certification management system is the system that you use that allows people to watch or access your trainings, and at the end, you provide a test that basically allows you to bestow on them a certification that they pay for. Some of y'all got certifications right now. You ain't even using it, but you pay for it. You're like, I'm official. I'm certified. I give y'all permission to be me. It's my peak performer certification system. Seriously. And if you do it, I'll teach you how to be me. And you'll be good at it. Let's pass it to her. What do you do well?
Hi, I'm Demetria Williams. I'm an educator, a life architect, and a speaker. I help individuals.
Hold on, wait, you're what?
I'm an educator, a life architect, and a speaker.
Okay, well, come on up. Come on. Shay said, come on down. Come on down. Come on. Come on down. Come on. All right. What do you do well?
I'm an educator.
You're an educator, number one.
I'm a life architect.
Wait a minute. Do you make money off that every month? Because it's on your card now.
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, what else are you? See, my knees are getting weak. Y'all know what time it is. Whoa! What did Delator teach you yesterday? You cannot put it on your card unless you make money from it every month. But what else do you do?
I'm a life architect.
You're a life architect. I like that. Do you make money from that every month? I got to ask the question now. It would
Not
just be
every
wrong
month.
from her. Okay, well, don't worry. Let's call those things that be not. You will,
Yes,
because
so
you're
they are.
going to have a low monthly labor system.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. All right, and what else do you do well?
And I'm a speaker.
And you are a speaker. Okay.
Yes.
Now, do you believe that there are other people who want to do what you do well?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna give you a bit of advice from my good friend Delator McNeil. Right? Stick to one thing until it what? Delivers.
Okay.
Stick to one thing until it delivers. So
Okay.
you're a life architect, and you speak about things related to life. So
Okay.
there's some connection there.
Okay.
So try to be careful of saying too many things.
Okay.
I'm a marketing expert. I can do a lot of things, but I'm a
Okay.
marketing and automation expert. That's what I do. I help people automate their businesses and multiply their profits.
Okay.
There's still a lot of things that I do, but when you ask me what do I do, marketing automation expert. You got
Okay.
it? All right. Let's give her a round of applause. But you can just take it to the back. One of the things that it teaches us, though, in all sincerity, is that you got to be aware. You got to be always on your A game. Somebody might eat your lunch. Leave your lunch on the table. Me and Shay will be right there. Chomp, chomp. Today, y'all here. You know what you're doing? You're eating somebody else's lunch. So the CMS system is basically where you get to monetize your expertise in another way. There are some people who want to use your expertise in their business or in their life. There are other people who want to be you. The first product that you create is the product that allows people to most easily achieve the ability to be you. Does that make sense for everybody? Your CMS is basically that type of system. It's a certification management system. When I say CMS, I mean certification management system. Okay? Next, this system is also you can use for an EMS, an event management system. Matter of fact, this is where I'm going to do a shameless promotion. Do I have your permission to do a shameless plug? Okay, great. Fine, put this up on the screen. Event management system, right? And she'll tell you the link for it, okay? Under the event management system, you have a big event. There's all of the videos that go along with this event, right? There's all of the content. There's all of the audio, the videos. Have you ever been to a conference where you couldn't attend all of the different workshops? You ever been to one of those conferences? Most of them you can't attend. So here's what you got to do. You got to figure out which hand do you want to chop off, your right hand or your left hand. This one is really, really good. This one is really, really good. But it's designed to be that way because it's setting you up for the sale, right? So here's what they do. They basically say you can get all of the videos, all of the content, everything, the stuff you wanted to hear again, and the stuff that you missed. You can get all the videos for $97. Who was here for Delatorre's speech yesterday? Who was here? Who saw it? Right? Didn't he have some good stuff? There was some good stuff, right? Who would like to see it again? Good. You can see it right here in my event management system, right? My event management system. You can get it today for $97. It is got to be the world's best training library. I don't know where you can get a better training library than this. I mean, you had speaker trainers, social media trainers. You had health and wellness trainers. My good friend Dr. Baruch is back in the house. Wellness expert. Make sure you follow him. But you can get access to it at my event management system. See, I got a continuity system. It's low labor. See, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to let y'all get it for $97. What's the link they go to, Shay? Buythevideos.com?
Yes, buythevideos.com. Right.
So they go there. They log in, right? They plunk down there $97 to get access to the world's best content. First of all, you're not going to see another conference this year with the level of speakers that we had here. I guarantee that. It was flat out amazing. There is no other conference where they go 72 hours strong. They don't cut the cameras off. Go ahead. Find one. But you got it. Now, can you imagine how much content got produced? Remember, we had 8 rooms. Y'all are watching this room. There were 8 of them. For $97, you get all of that? Go ahead. Plunk down 20 grand for your next coach. Go ahead, go get your next certification. But you may find that everything you need is right in that $97 package. It's all happening with my event management system. Do y'all understand? I'm not telling y'all to do something I'm not doing. I'm going to go get me some low labor cash. There's some people out there that want to get access to that. There were some people saying yesterday, hey, can I get Dr. Baruch's slides? Sure, you can, for $97. Some people said, hey, I miss Delatorre. I heard he tore it down. You heard he tore it down, didn't you? He tore it down. He destroyed this stage. And you can see him destroy it real time for $97. Netflix works the same way. I'm telling you right now. You missed a show that they don't have on TV anymore, $97 or $9 a month, you can get access. Does that make sense? So you can use it for an event management system. You can also use it for as a MMS, a mastermind management system. Here's what I mean. As a mastermind management system, you have groups of people that you need to bring through at different times. So you can use it. Dr. Angela Barons is in the house, and I like to pick on her because she is by far one of the best educators that I've seen, and she produces results in the lives of children that are unparalleled in the United States. And if you want to see those type of results and you want your child to truly access and operate in their brilliance, you got to go to the Institute of Exceptional Children. You got to sign up with that. I mean, especially if you believe in your child's future and you believe that your child is the next, Edison, the next Steve Jobs, hey, you got to put some work into that. You got to be able to invest in your children's dreams and future, and it's got to be more than about you. You see the big bold claim? Now, she's an educator. And in education, a lot of times y'all have classes, right? So y'all have classes. You may teach one group at 8 o'clock, this message, and you have a 9 o'clock class, then you have a 10 o'clock class, you have a 11 o'clock class, and then kind of different places, right? But you're teaching generally the same subject, right? So you need to be able to manage each group. And what you can do is have your own mastermind management system so that you can have this group log in and they can access the audios, from the last class you taught. They can turn their homework assignment in, and you can generally send out information. So you can have several different mastermind groups. Right now, I have a $3,000 mastermind. It's a 12-week mastermind where we help people produce amazing results. We help people triple their revenue. The whole goal is to help you triple your revenue. We take 12 people per class. Each class is managed differently. By the way, if you want to be in one of those masterminds, just text Shaq, 202-270-1662. Now, in this whole, all of this, the learning management system, the PDS system, the product delivery system, the certification management system, the event management system, the mastermind management system, these are all part of your low labor. Everybody say low labor revenue generators. See, here's what's happening. Y'all making money too hard. Really. And what you got to do is you got to start creating an easy way for people to access your content. Who you are. Write this down. There's more money in what you know than what you do. Please, Lord, write this down. Just write it down. Just believe it in your soul. Just keep telling yourself this. There's more money in what you know than what you do. Your job is to effectively package what you know that makes it easy for people to access it. What's the number one product in America? Not toilet paper, not computers, not toilet paper, not water. Number one product in America is convenience. When you had this, it's convenient for me. Does anybody remember Waxy Maxis? You remember Waxy Maxis? Go and tell your age. See, when you say you know what Waxy Maxis is, you know your age. Does anybody remember Blockbuster Video? See, you know, you're telling your age. But here's the thing. See, look, they're gone. Blockbusters, Waxy Maxis, Tower Records, their relationship is over. It's gone. Now, if you want to get can you imagine? I got to go to the store and buy me a CD. I want that latest Beyonce CD. I'm going to go to the store and get it. I'm going to go to Waxy Maxi. As a matter of fact, this is so prevalent. Anybody been to Best Buy lately? Notice that they've all but obliterated the DVD section. That DVD section used to be like aisles. It used to be like 10 aisles. It used to be like going out to the grocery store. You needed a cart to kind of, now it's down to like one aisle. And you got to find it. You need a magnifying glass. You want to know why? Because they know that people have moved towards content delivery systems. If you do not have a continuity delivery system, I'm telling you, you are going to be a worker bee. You are going to be a slave. You're going to be the worker. Hear me closely. You cannot master anything that you are a slave to. Period. By slave, I mean dependent on. You ain't going to beat Amazon by depending on them to sell your products and services. You better produce your own. You ain't going to beat Netflix out and these other companies out, but I'm going to take my content to them and I'm going to let them sell it for me and give me a percentage of my profits. What? Get out of your mind? Seriously. You will not master anything that you are a slave to. Look, Samsung depended on Apple for a lot of their design. And the reason why they can't master the market in that space is while they're making a lot of money, they can't master it because they were dependent on somebody else to produce that result. At the end of the day, you got to get mastery. To master that, you got to start to own your content. Look, y'all gonna see some of the biggest shifts in 2015 that you've never seen. The push for the age of the internet is gonna be bigger this year than anything. The FTC just ruled. They just ruled on what's the true definition of broadband now. They want super high speed. They basically are saying now, I think the new speed is going to be, it's got to be a minimum of either 25 megabits down or 50 megabits down and a certain amount of speed up. You ever think about why they care so much about the speed of the internet connection in your house? You want to know why? Because the new commerce is all based upon content. And they need to get it to you as fast as humanly possible so they can get your money out of your bank account fast as what? Humanly possible. You want to get paid slow, you want to get paid fast? Fast. So get yourself a content delivery system. Let me write this down. Content I hope I spell it right. But even if I don't spell it right, I'm going to still make some money. Because I got one. You need a content delivery system. You got to own your content. Look, we all know the story of Master P. And while he may not be our type of rapper or our type of business owner, here's what he did do. He got control of his content, produced it, started selling it out of the trunk of his car, produced a record label that produced many people. First he owned his content, then he sought ownership over theirs. And then he sold it and gave them a cut of their profits. Stop getting a cut of your profits. Get all your profits. Don't let Amazon dictate how much you're going to get for your book. It's your content. Hey, listen, we really like you, and you sell a lot of books to give you 30%. What? Look, get a content delivery system. Now, for many of you, you don't have one. And thus you've eliminated your ability to generate some low-labor cash systems. Look, the reason why they care about the internet speed in your house is they want to deliver the content to you faster. The thing about it is, you're on the other side. You're on the consumer side waiting to receive your content faster. I want a faster connection to Netflix. You know why? By the way, you want to know one of the number one groups that drove people to start sending emails and messages to the FTC? It was a bunch of people who were mad that the videos that they were watching on Netflix wasn't coming in fast enough. The consumers. You're on the other side with them, waiting to get your content faster. You need to be on the opposite side with us, the business owners, the entrepreneurs and the professionals, the people who are glad that the content can get to people faster. So that when they click on the video to learn how I can be a wellness person, how I can be an author, how I can, what is the lady did? Contracting. You got to be on that side. So let me give you some easy things that you can do to handle your content. I'm going to do this, Shay, and I'm going to do something a little special here. If you do not have a content delivery system, by content delivery system, meaning you have a learning management system, that's a Netflix-style experience. You don't have a product delivery system. That's an Amazon-style experience. You don't have a certification management system, a system that allows people to be like you, and you can monetize it, right? We call it your way. You don't have a mastermind management system, an event management. You don't have these systems. You need that. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. First of all, don't message me. Do not do this. You will text Shay and you say, I need a content management system, CMS. I need one. You text him at 202-270-1662. We'll have a conversation about what you need. You do it now or you don't do it at all. Don't worry about it. If there's any hesitation as to whether or not you need this, wait till you figure it out. But for those people you know you need a content delivery system, go ahead and you send Shay that message at 202-270-1662. All right? Joan. They need first name, last name, email. First name, last name, email. They just need to text the word content delivery system. Okay? Now, here's the thing. Just in your content delivery system, first of all, that's easy, low labor money. Some of y'all are struggling and fighting to get to six figures. You can get to six figures. First of all, just what's your monthly program? Hey, I got a $99 a month program. We're going to get deeper into that. Joan, you have an event called, what is it called, Dream Champions? You have an event, and by the way, somebody pass Joan the microphone. I'm all off my presentation, but we're in laser coaching. It's okay. It's revenue revolution. Right? Come on up, Joan.
Let's give her a hand.
Let's give her a hand. Come on up. Now I get to pick on Corner Woman. Corner Woman does amazing presentation. This calls you to have a salesgasm. You know, there's a difference when you see Joan's content.
First of all, you need to take about 5 pounds off that camera.
So, it's my screen. So, here's my question. You had an event last year.
I did.
Okay, and what was the name of the event?
Dream Champion.
By the way, is that event coming again this year?
Yes.
Okay, by the way, can y'all hear on the mic? Okay, so once again, you had an event last year. What was the name?
It was called Dream Champions.
Dream Champions, and you had some amazing speakers. Who did you have? Just give us like 2 or 3 of the names.
I also had Trevor Otts.
Mm-hmm.
I had.
Not also. You had the Trevor Otts.
I had the Trevor Otts, the sales script swagger himself, Shay Brown, the Cheryl Wood, the Vicki Irvin, Dr. Monica Ogando. She, she made Inc. 500. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Oh, and then my very, very good friend, 5-time world boxing champion, Miss Isra Wynn, who was on Dr. Oz on Friday.
Oh, she was on Dr. Oz. So you had an amazing lineup. Would you agree?
I did, in a boxing ring.
And you had the real ring there, and
I
all
had
the
a
speakers
real
had to
boxing
climb into the ring and speak, right?
Yeah.
And you sold tickets to the event, correct?
I did.
And you sold products at the event, right?
I did.
Did you have a content manager? Did you sell the videos?
No.
No, I know the answer. No. What about this year? See, I'm standing over here because she likes boxing. But what about, is there going to be a Dream Champions this year?
There will be a Dream
Will there be a content delivery system? By the way, look into the camera as you make your answer because we're all paying witness. Maryland is a state that recognizes verbal contracts, especially if there's a witness. I got several right here in the whole internet world. So will there be a content delivery system?
There will be a content delivery system.
Great. So they'll be able to access all of that great content because now you got all the videos and you got paid from the ticket sales. And great. You made some money from some of the other stuff, the products you sold, but you left a lot of money sitting on the table. So here's my note for you. Stop leaving money on the table. Because if you do, somebody's going to eat your lunch. Everybody say chomp chomp. All right. Let's give her a round of applause. So, I was at Cheryl Wood's event. It's another one of the people that we get a chance to work with. And we were at her event. And I remember I was eating some chicken wings. And this is where we actually met the Pruitt twins. And we were having a conversation about their business model and some of the things they wanted to do and some of the things I wanted to do. And we were all just sitting around eating lunch. We kind of having a power lunch. And during this lunch, I ordered some chicken wings. If you know anything about me, I always order the chicken wings. I always order the chicken wings. And these wings were particularly good. And then I think it was Marcia or Marla. One of them looked up and said, "Can I have one of those wings?" And I'm looking at that guy, he got about 10. But okay. And then they looked down at my plate. And if you've seen the Pruitt twins, they can finish each other's sentences. And one said, "I can tell you're from the north." And the other one said, "I sure can." So I was looking at, maybe it's my breath, maybe it's my clothes. I don't know. How do you know I'm from the north? And she says, people in the north always leave meat on the bone. I was like, what? People in the north always leave meat on the bone? She said, yeah, look at all that meat you left on the bone. I looked at that chicken wing. I was like, so what? But it's just like us as business owners. We're always leaving meat on the bones. I can always tell broke entrepreneurs. You want to know why? Because the reason they're broke is because they left meat on the bone. Stop leaving meat on the bone. Somebody wants to be you. There's more money in what you know than what you do. Famous trainer. What he does is he trained athletes. He trained boxers. He trained NFL stars. He trained A-list actors. Suffice to say, he made plenty of money training stars. One day his friend says to him, "Why do people pay you?" He was like, "I can't believe people pay you all this doggone money." So the friend said, "Well, because I'm good." He says, "You're not that good." So the friend says, "Well, let me tape you. And if you're that good, they basically make a harmless little bet. And if you're that good, I'll go ahead and pay you." The friend tapes him. The friend realizes, holy mackerel, this guy really is good. Holy mackerel, you really are good at health and wellness. Holy mackerel, you really are good as a life architect. Holy mackerel, you really are good at contracts. Holy mackerel, you really are good at changing the lives of children and getting them into college. No money down, scholarship style. You really are good. They taped him. The guy then took those tapes and started selling them. That guy made 10 times as much money as he did as a trainer, and he was training superstars. That guy, Billy Blanks, what was his product? Tybo. You don't even see him no more on TV. He's still selling it. I still got it. You can still go buy Tybo. But he monetized his content. But he ain't the first one that monetized his content. You know who else monetized their content? Betty Crocker. That red book, people still buy it. Get yourself a content delivery system. Does that make sense? Yes or yes? Your content delivery system is low labor cash. There's more money in what you know than what you do. While you should work, you work in such a way that you can perfect your knowledge. But once that knowledge becomes perfected, it becomes incumbent upon you to package that knowledge. Number one problem you're having right now, you're not packaging your knowledge. And oh, by the way, get innovative about how you package it. Writing the book is not the only way to package your knowledge. There are a whole lot of ways to package your knowledge. You can turn it into a podcast. We're going to talk about that later on tonight. You can turn it into videos. We're going to talk about that later on tonight. You can do all sorts of things with your content. There are different ways by which people consume content in the world, and you can do all of them. So the next strategy is have yourself a virtual bill collector. Ain't nothing like seeing somebody make a lot of money and then try to collect the money. By the way, there's getting people to agree to pay you, and then there's actually collecting the money. There are a whole lot of agreements go down. But let that credit card bounce on the 15th. I know what y'all doing. Hey, Trevor, how you doing? I just wanted to call and see how you was doing. Is everything okay? Yeah, everything's okay. So how's it going? How's your son? Well, yeah, my son's doing fine. So you going to be in town? No, not really. Hey, by the way, I just wanted to give you a call and let you know your credit card bounced. Did you want to put a new one on file? See, listen, when you got a merchant account and a billing system, it'll keep billing them. It'll keep trying to get your money until they get it. Every 3 days. Here's a call that comes in. We get this call almost every week. Somebody who basically owes some money, didn't pay. System tried to bill them on the 15th. It didn't go through. System billed them 7 days later. Didn't go through. 3 months later, the bill went through. Swipe! Person called. I saw this erroneous thing on my credit card. I wanted to know what this is about. You remember that event you were at? Yeah. You remember that product we offered? Yeah. Did you get the product? Yeah. Are you still using the product? Yeah. Well, your credit card bounced, and we billed you every 14 days until it went through. By the way, it's on the bottom of your contract. First of all, listen, time is money. You can't let people be wasting your time. So you need to let your systems do the virtual bill collecting. Seriously, you're in business. And by the way, don't be apologetic for asking for what you owe. You don't owe anybody an apology because they didn't pay you. And that doesn't mean we can't be sensitive to the fact that people have problems. They do. But at the end of the day, use a virtual bill collector. Brother Bedford, he is gangster. He will bill you every 3 days until you get his money. He'll check with you every 3 days, 72 hours. I think like, man, it just go out there and check. Hey, is there anybody over here? Anybody over here? It'll check. So once you collect there is getting people to agree to pay the money, and there's actually collecting the money. It's two different things. Does that make sense? Yes or yes? All right. So before we go into phase 3, which is the product, I want to just hammer this down. Look, if you do not have a content delivery system, you have a problem because you don't even have some systems in place by which you can generate some real revenue. There's always somebody out there that wants to access something that you have, and they allow you to access it in the digital world. The world has changed. There's the virtual world and there's the real world. And in the virtual world, there are different principles that guide it. And what you got to do is you got to start positioning for the new world that we live in right now. Otherwise, you'll see what happens. Every time the world goes through a major change, there's always a depression and a recession. And the depression is always caused by people who are making less money because they didn't make the proper transition. So they went through the recession, meaning they stopped making money. Some of y'all are depressed right now because y'all not making money, right? And then because you stopped making money, you couldn't take care of your needs, you couldn't take care of your family, so then you went through a depression. So don't be that person. Good stuff, yes or yes? Okay, so phase 3 of how to become a billing machine. By the way, Shay, what's the number that we wanted them to text content delivery system for those people who just want to have a discovery session about that? Text that to 202-270-1662. If you don't have it, matter of fact, I'll just write it here. 202-270-1662. And you text the word content delivery system. Put your first name, your last name, and your email. If I don't see your information, I'm not calling you back. I'm not going to call you and say, who is this? So make sure you put the correct information in there. And by the way, almost anything can be packaged. You get that? Anything can really be packaged. And at some point, we've all participated by now in some type of content delivery system. Got it? All right. Going once? Going twice? Can I take it away, Shay? Okay. I'll just put it right over here, Shay. Okay, so then there's phase 3. Phase 3 is the product. Okay? So here's what I want you to know. This is the formula for creating products that sell every day. When did I say? So here's what I've learned. You got to turn problems into products. I'm telling you my formula. By the way, I'm getting ready to change the term. The other day I realized that I come into spaces and I like to come in and I like to innovate. I consider myself to be one of the world's leading innovators. I can go into your business or anybody else's business and create new ideas to create new possibilities for people. So I identify with people like George Washington Carver. I come into people's businesses and I look for new possibilities, new things that your business and your expertise can do. I'm an innovator. That's what I do. So here's what I want you to do today. I want to dare you to innovate. I want to challenge you to innovate. Everybody, I want to challenge you right now. So, as an innovator in your business, because I want you to be the chief innovator in your business, the CIO, okay? What you got to do is you got to turn problems into products. You got to turn problems into products. And so what I literally do every day, and especially when I'm in a funk, I will literally take stickers and place them, on the refrigerator, on my mirror, save it as my screensaver, put it in my car, and I tell myself every day I got to turn problems into products. And you guys are in business. And in business, you have to have products. Otherwise, you're going out of business. A business with no product is no business at all. So you got to turn problems into products. And, here's how I learned this. I grew up in Landover, Maryland, and I grew up in basically the projects. I grew up in a place called Palmer Park. And it's still there, and it's still the projects. And that's where I grew up. That's the place I called home. And in Palmer Park, it's where you lived if you really had a low income. So growing up there, I can remember just all sorts of experiences that I had that taught me all about how to be in business. And so I remember when I lived in Palmer Park, there was a lady we called Candy Lady. And then, by the way, if you live in low-income neighborhoods, you have these type of people. We call them different names, right? I grew up in a low-income neighborhood because we were poor. And so in my neighborhood, they didn't have convenience stores. There was no 7-Elevens. There were no Highs. There was a liquor store. But generally, they were not convenience stores because they felt like the convenience stores were going to get robbed. So the problem was that they were no what? Convenience stores. So there was Candy Lady. And Candy Lady basically popped up as a result of solving a problem in our community. What was the problem? There were no what? Convenience stores. So, and I love Candy Lady because when you went to Candy Lady's house, it didn't matter what time you went. It didn't even matter what day you went. You could go on Christmas, but she would always show up with the exact same outfit on. It would be like this big moo-moo gown and like a wrap. And she always showed up the same way. And then you would go there, and I would call her Candy Lady because the kids called her Candy Lady because we always bought what? Candy. But she sold Clorox, Ivory soap, cooking grease. And basically, she created that business as a solution to a problem. She turned a problem into a product. And so, I watched her do that. And I remember one day we were going down to the community center. And while we were at the community center, we was having a great time. And I love the community center because I was like the bumper pool champion. I was like, boom, go to the community center. I could still take some people down to bumper pool. And for those people who don't know what bumper pool is, well, I feel sorry for your childhood because you're missing out on the experience. And I still had a wicked ping pong, I still had a backhand, ping pong and bumper pool. Trevor Otts, hashtag king of bumper pool. So anyway, I remember my mother was taking us to the rec center. And while we were at the rec center, I'm thinking to myself, great, we're going to the rec center. Maybe I'll get a chance to get some bumper pool in. Maybe I can shoot some basketball. The rec center, you can do all sorts of things. Now, when we got there, we went into the gymnasium, and I noticed that the basketball goals were not down. They were up. And there were like all these chairs. And I was wondering to myself, why did my mother bring me to the rec center and why are all these chairs on the basketball court? Lo and behold, we were at the community meeting. By the way, no child wants to go to the community meeting. Don't do this to your child, please. But when I looked and I got to the community meeting, I'm there and I see Candy Lady. I said, hey, Candy Lady. I was wondering if she had any candy because I'm at this boring meeting with all these adults. And she wasn't really smiling like she normally is smiling. And then there were these people at the front, and they were sitting there with briefcases, and I knew they didn't belong because I didn't see them in my community. And it just looked very tense, and important and stiff. And so eventually they bring the community meeting to order. And essentially the community meeting was all about the fact that there were no banks in our neighborhoods. And so these leaders were there to answer as to why there were no banks in our neighborhood. What was the problem? No banks in our neighborhood, right? Now, here's the thing. They were there to answer the question. And so there was like the town mayor, there was like Candy, there were all these people, there was the community, and they were angry, right? There was the Candy Lady was right there. She was vocal. She was like Candy Lady and like the unofficial mayor of the town. Hashtag Candy Lady. And so there are people out there and they're kind of voicing their opinion. If you've been to any community meeting, it's a little bit passionate, right? And then the guy gets up and he basically eloquently explains why there is no banks in our neighborhood. He says, listen, the problem is that your people, these people are basically taking out more money than what they actually have in their account. And we're in the business of lending money. So if people take out more money than what's in the account, then there'll be no money to lend. So that's why there's no bank in your neighborhood. And I'm going to tell you, like every year, this same meeting used to go down. And every year, the bank would say the same thing. The bank would say, the community would be mad. There's no banks in our neighborhoods. There's something wrong with this. We're going to be politically activated. The banks would say the same thing.